Hey, what's up, SML family? It's Prime. And I'm going to do something a little different. I'm doing a little Prime's Corner, a little Prime's podcast, if you will. Obviously, Field and I both have jobs, we have our own lives, so it's difficult to find time to do podcasting. So I figured, if I upload a podcast or two every week, it could just kind of help keep our YouTube channel alive. So, getting into it, I just want to touch up on the SML news and the playoff race. We're about a game or two away from the playoffs, the wild card round. In the AFC, I'm 15-0, followed up with the Steelers at 12-2. So that really the first two, the bye week is locked up. And then the NFC, it's a lot closer. You've got Atlanta at 11-3, Seattle at 10-4, and the Panther at 11-3 as well. So really, that's a three-way race for the top two seeds. And I actually believe that the Panthers and Seattle play this week, so that'll be a big game. Obviously, Seattle bounced Carolina in the NFC Championship game, so might be a little revenge game. Big battle anyway, so we'll see how that plays out. But really, where most of the playing is going to be fought is the last seed really in the NFC. You've got four teams that are battling for the sixth seed. You've got Dallas, New York, San Francisco, the Rams. You could throw in the Bucks as well. All of them fighting for the last seed or two. So that's going to play right out. And of course, you have Madden's system of how they pick. I don't really know the true tiebreaker system, but I'm pretty sure Madden has its own system of how it does things as well. So we'll see how that plays. And in the AFC, you got Oakland, who might make their first playoff appearance in a while. You've got the Titans, you've got the Chiefs, and you've got the Patriots, and trailing late would be the Ravens, who I don't think they're going to make it, but they might have a chance. They'd have to have a few losses, and Madden would have to probably gift them a playoff spot as well. So definitely some late seed, late pushes to the playoffs being made. And once you get hot, once you get in the dance, anybody can win. So I think my dark horse in the NFC is the Bucks, and a dark horse in the AFC is probably the Bills or the Raiders, assuming they make it. Chargers are good too. Obviously, I mean the hot picks would be, the Steelers, the Falcons, teams like that. Teams who are great all the time. But there's some newer teams arising through the rankings, so it'll be interesting to see for sure. But anyway, going back to the NFL news, Patriots once again having a great off season. It seemed like those teams that are great, they always just find ways to get better guys, and the teams that are trash, just dysfunctional organizations, just find ways to shoot themselves in the foot. You've got Washington, who, I'm not a huge on Kirk Cousins, but obviously he's going to be better than anything they're going to get in the foreseeable future. The guy deserves to be paid. He's going to be paid, and he might not be able to carry a team to a Super Bowl like a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but, maybe if you build a team around him, he's going to, he's definitely capable of winning the Super Bowl, I think. But, I don't know if there's dysfunction in the organization. I know they just fired their GM, and it's kind of shady on why. I'm not going to get into speculation, but they have all sorts of rumors coming out that the Redskins claimed that he was an alcoholic and he got back into drinking heavy, but then there was disputing reports against that. So I don't know. There must have just been a power struggle. Washington's been a dysfunctional organization, like the Knicks. The Knicks are another one that's dysfunctional. And I mean, you can go down the list of teams like Cleveland, who firing their coaches every year, and just the model of consistency is huge in professional sports. I think you've just got to stick with your guys and wait a few seasons and to see what happens. And I feel like Washington was just starting to build a team, and then they fired their GM. So I really don't get that. But anyway, going into basketball news, I think Golden State, with Kevin Durant injured, they're vulnerable. Kawhi Leonard is playing like MVP level along with Russell Westbrook. Of course, you got to throw LeBron James in there, and James Harden. Those are the four guys in the race, I think, right now. I think Russell Westbrook's going to miss out on it just because the record. It's not his fault. It reminds me a lot of Kobe. When he was playing with Smush Parker, putting up a lot of points, doing all he can, but he's just playing on a trash team. He still might make the playoffs though, which is impressive. I think James Harden, is having a great season, but people know that he's not the best defender, although he's improved this year. So really, I think it comes between LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. And LeBron's having a great season, the better season than he's had in a while, actually. But depending on how Kawhi finishes out this season, and if the Spurs take the first seed above the Warriors, as they're a little injury depleted right now, I think Kawhi Leonard might steal the MVP from LeBron. But once again, I don't follow the NBA near as much as I do the NFL. I'm always on the NFL stuff. NBA, I check, probably once or twice a day, but NFL's, multiple times a day just to see what's happening. And there's just so many less games. I feel like it's just easier to keep track of for me personally. But that's just the NBA. I mean, the NFL, and I guess that could lead me into my next topic of the NFL having the perfect amount of games, the perfect amount of quantity. 16 games plus playoffs, and then the crappy preseason games. I mean, it leaves you wanting more. Whereas the NBA, the MLB, NHL, they leave you like, okay, for example, NBA plays 82 games. If like it allows superstar players like LeBron James to sit out a game mid in the middle of the season, whereas in the NFL, the only time a player sits out a game is if they're injured or if they have everything clinched up, and that's usually the last game or two of the season. So, obviously, I'm not sure if they would be willing to change that or if that's just like a firm thing that they're going to do, but I feel like if they shortened up their seasons, they get better TV ratings, but they might make more money having a bunch of games like that. I'm just not sure. I don't really know the dynamics of it, but obviously, I think the less amount of games you have, the more drive it's going to push. It's like a supply and demand type of deal. Anyway, I'm going to keep this kind of short. I'm already up to 8 minutes almost. So, guys, let me know if you guys want to hop on this little Primes Corner, Primes podcast, the SML podcast 2.0. I'm sure me and Field will hop on a podcast soon as well. We got 3 teams open at the moment, Vikings, Saints, and someone else. I forgot the other. Eagles, Vikings, Saints, and Eagles. So good luck, guys, on your playoff push. And hey, you guys take it easy.